What I would like to do is get Gerald to do it first, and then I'm going to ask him a little bit about his bike and what it took to get it done, and then we'll go over and talk to Grant about what he did. So, Gerald, are you ready for the unveiling? 3, 2, 1. Here it is, folks. The Gerald Langston KX500. How about a round of applause for that bike? Is that something special or what? Absolutely incredible, Gerald. Great job. The first thing that catches my eye is, of course, that aluminum tank. And God, if you dent it, you got to give me a call. Tell us about the tank and how all this came to be.
Okay, well, the tank comes from a guy in Italy, hand fabricates the tanks. So this build, unlike Grant's build, which is a Ricky Carmichael replica, I had more of a free rein. So I got the tank from Italy, and the pipe came from Belgium. It's the son of the guy that did Domer exhaust, which Grant used to race back in the day. And it's got a VHM head on it, so we sort of made it like if you could build your own Grand Prix race bike, this is possibly what it would look like.
Now, I've seen you taking some liberties here with the bike when it comes to the hubs. I see they look like they've been blue powder coated. Also on the forks, I'm seeing some anodizing and maybe some things that we would not see on a bike at that time. Tell me about the hubs, tell me about the forks.
Well, starting with the forks, that's how they came. For 2 years, I think 92 and 93, they came with that anodizing, which makes this 500 a more sought-after bike because everyone's, is that the one with the blue forks? Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that one. So that's what the bike came with. The hubs, as you say, we just powder coated them and put stainless steel spokes on.
How much time did you spend putting this bike together, Gerald? Did you take it right down to the frame and back?
Yeah, it's hard to say because our build started earlier than Grant's build, and we had 2 teams in the workshop. And at this stage, I must just thank Nate and Isaiah's guys that helped with the build. It's hard to put an hour to it because we had sort of in between jobs. Mm-hmm. I'd say, hey, do that. I'd take something home. So it's very hard to say how many hours went into it. But suffice to say, many hours.
It's absolutely spectacular. The tank, of course, the pipe that you said was made in Belgium, and so many of the details, the way the triple clamps are finished, the levers, the grips, it's certainly first class. And a KX500, very, very desirable bike. Now this will go into your collection?
It will, but it's going to go to Mecum in January, Mecum auction.
This bike will be available at the Mecum auction in Las Vegas in January. It's a rare opportunity to get a bike that was restored, rebuilt, and certainly a beautiful job done by Gerald Langston. It will be available at the Mecum motorcycle auction in Las Vegas. You'll be there?
Yep, I'll be there at the bar.
All right, we're going to move on now to bike number 2, the bike of Grant Langston. Grant, where's Grant Langston? Here he is. Let's see what Grant has put together for us. Grant, we're going to give you a little countdown. 3, 2, 1. The KX125 of Grant Langston. There it is. All right, Grant, you've gone in a little bit of a different direction than Dad has. You've got the black rims as opposed to the polished aluminum. What was the inspiration for this bike?
With my age and just growing up the way I did, I always thought the split fire pro circuit bikes were just beautiful looking machines. And when I was a kid, it was actually a dream of mine I said one day I'm going to ride on that team. And years later, I actually did get to ride on that team and have some success. So I thought these bikes were stunning in the 90s. I think even in 2022, most people would agree they still are beautiful machines. So I tried to do a replica in Ricky Carmichael's honor. Obviously, RC was very dominant on this bike, and I love the colors. Yes, I know anyone that knows what the bikes look like is going to say, that's the wrong seat cover. We didn't get a seat cover in time. John Anderson from W is helping us get some factory-looking hubs like the Cowies ran, and there's 1 or 2 little things we're going to get buttoned up, but it's about 95% of the way there, and we did a very short amount of time, so I want to thank the mechanics at Langston Motorsports, my team. They busted their ass to get this done. I think on Wednesday this was a frame. So we came a long way in a short amount of time.
Now on the forks, I see a sticker that says Stewart. Are those James Stewart's forks that you have on this bike?
So I asked Mitch Payton the story because I got these forks from Mitch. So around the time of, at the end of 99, Ricky actually was factory Kawasaki, and they were running the KYBs when Mitch was switching to Showa. And James Stewart was obviously the up-and-coming protege at that time. And when he test rode Mitch's bike, because I think it's a bit of a sensitive subject with Mitch, because Stewart ended up bypassing Pro Circuit and going directly to a factory Kawasaki deal. So those were the forks James used and tested with before he went to the factory team. But yeah, he ran those.
Now, your dad's bike will be up for sale at Mika Motorcycle Auction. I think that happens this January in Las Vegas. What will happen to your bike?
I'm not sure. There's a small part of me that wants to get it around a track a few times, maybe make a little video about it. But I don't know. I love it. It's such a pretty looking machine. I want to keep it in display in the shop for a while. So we, like anything, we might sell it one day. As I often say, we're not owners, we're just custodians for a while, and then the next person gets to enjoy it. So I'm going to enjoy this for a while, and we'll see.
Grant Langston, Gerald Langston, beautiful job on both motorcycles. How about a round of applause for Grant and Gerald?